The Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing. Shout out to the man who left a comment about this car, because you got me thinking, what are these like to drive? Everyone who talks about Cadillac, it feels like they only talk about the CT5-V Blackwing, never the CT4-V Blackwing. And also, Cadillac in general is just not a car that is talked about a lot. It is a very slept-on brand. It's all Mustang, Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Porsche. And so, I needed some experience with Cadillac. And so I am very excited for this video, guys. Not only is this my first time with a CT4-V Blackwing, but my first time ever driving a Cadillac in general. So, man, we're going to talk about the design, the engine, the sound, the feel, most importantly, obviously, the feeling of driving. And with the little time that I've spent with this car, obviously I had to pick it up and drive it here, but you guys will be getting my first, like, we're going to get on it type of reaction. You just notice some things that make this car so special. First and foremost, a manual transmission in a four-door sedan. That doesn't even feel like legal to say that anymore. This is becoming so unbelievably rare. If you want a four-door manual transmission sports sedan, you have a BMW M3 base model because you can't get a manual transmission with a BMW M3 competition. You have to get the base model. You have an Acura Integra Type S, a Subaru WRX, I believe like 2 or 3 others, but that's it. Obviously, you have the CT4-V and CT5-V Blackwing. They're just, yeah, they're all going away. So that tells me this car is one that should hold its value pretty well, making this, I mean, already just a pretty enticing purchase. Before we go for a drive, let's hop out and pop this hood and take a look at what is actually powering this thing. And we'll actually, real quick, let me cover the design, especially in the front end. This is my favorite view of this car right here. I think this exterior does a phenomenal job at articulating that it is both performance-oriented and luxury-oriented. It is not trying to scream, I am a super fast four-door sedan. It's just trying to scream, I'm a Cadillac. And that's it. And gosh, yeah, I have a lot to say about this car. So let's go ahead and pop this hood first. This is obviously the heart and soul of the, or maybe this is the heart, the manual transmission is the soul. Beautiful presentation under here. The V badge, another, this is a very cool look under this hood. So under here is a 3.6 liter twin turbo V6 making 472 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. But what makes this engine so special is that this engine is only found in the CT4-V Blackwing and the ATS-V. This is not an engine that's shared across a bunch of different cars, a bunch of different makes and models. It is unique to Cadillac only, and only for the ATS-V and the CT4-V Blackwing. So I think it makes the driving experience all the more special knowing that you're just getting a unique experience. And to do a quick walk around on this thing, again, such a clean, sleek front end. I love these headlights here. It's got that teardrop, kind of like the LC500. It flows down the side of the car as well. And on the side, it is, for the most part, a sleeper car. There's a couple of touches, as you can see, that say, hey, I'm a bit more special than just a regular sedan, such as these big brakes right up front here, 255s for the tire width and 18-inch wheels. Nice blacked out wheels, look very good. A blacked out vent, and most importantly, that V badge right there. Other than that, pretty plain, which is good, I think, for if you like sleeper cars. In the back, I'm not a huge fan of the design back here. It looks a little bit outdated to me or something. I don't know, with like outdated with modern touches. Like those taillights look very modern, but the back, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I just don't think it looks that great. Quad tip exhaust back here, a blacked out spoiler. Again, just subtle touches like that. The V badge, the spoiler, the quad tip exhaust. You don't need anything more than that. Also, yes, 4 doors, of course. Let's take a look at the rear here. Given it is a Cadillac, you can expect everything to just be high quality. It feels solid. It all feels nice to the touch. A lot of leather, Alcantara. Good amount of space back here. My seat is scooted very far back, and that one's obviously all the way back. Your rear passengers get to stare at a little V in the back of the seat right here, which is very, very cool. But you don't want to be in the back. You want to be in the driver's seat. V badge right here, Cadillac on the floor mats. Very nice, sporty, bolstered seats, which we'll talk more about. V badge on the headrest here. And let's go ahead and hop in this thing. Also, as I'm putting this seatbelt on, you got red seatbelts here, which match the, there we go, which match the red center marker and the red in the RPM gauge, which is very, very cool. And guys, before we do take off, I want to spend a moment to talk about this interior. It's very Cadillac-like. It has, again, just like the exterior, both luxury and sporty touches. You know, I thought to myself, oh, I kind of wish this steering wheel had like carbon fiber on the top, but then I realized I don't actually. It wouldn't be very fitting inside of this car. Having an all-leather steering wheel, it is very Cadillac-like. It gives it that luxurious touch. But you do have some carbon fiber down here with a nice V badge right there. Got some important buttons, which we'll cover once we take off. That Soul we were talking about earlier, this manual transmission, which feels so, so good. Carbon fiber all down the center console. A V badge right here. I believe this would just be like your key holder or area for putting like change. Other than that, though, I mean, it is a fairly simple interior. It's just, again, the red seatbelts, the V badge, the nice bolstered seats here. I'm not a huge fan of this infotainment screen. Real quick, let me show you the modes here. So you have My Mode, Snow and Ice Mode, Track Mode, Sport, and Tour, which all are adjustable. You can even, if you go over to My Mode, you're able to adjust, click Edit, and you can adjust the steering, suspension, brake feel, and engine sound. So kind of define what My Mode means for you. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot of stuff inside of this infotainment screen. You do have performance data review. I believe the R stands for review. I'll put a caption if I'm wrong. But this actually uses a camera on the rear view mirror here to record your drives. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, there really isn't a whole lot of noteworthy stuff inside of this infotainment screen. I would have liked to see like performance data, although you do have your turbo pressure, tire pressure, gas mileage, and stuff like that in the infotainment or the gauge cluster. But yeah, this is a little disappointing in my opinion. I guess, you know, cars like the C8 Corvette and new Mustang GT kind of spoiled me with all the customization. So let's go ahead and turn off the parking brake, throw this thing into first gear, and let's get moving in this thing. Also, I did not mention that this car with the manual transmission weighs about 3,860 pounds. So lighter than I thought, actually, because there's a lot of cars we've been reviewing lately that are like right at 4,000 pounds. Like the S650 Mustang GT is 4,000 pounds. This is actually kind of lighter than what I would have thought for a semi-luxurious four-door sedan. So that's, yeah, very happy to see the weight on this car at what it is. Feels so good to shift. I mean, right off the line here, guys. This thing feels really nice. We got the V button right here to pop it into V mode, which we'll do right off the bat, which just puts everything in its most aggressive setting here. Let's take off. I haven't driven a manual in a while, guys, so forgive me if I look a little weird while doing it or mess up a little bit, but this is fast. Very, very fast, guys. I think it's easy to think of or hear V6 and go, oh, I kind of know what to expect. No, you feel those turbos kick in real fast. There is a little bit of a delay, but you know right when those turbos have spooled up and you feel all of the power. This thing is, we'll really get on it more in a second, but yeah, just know off the line, like that felt very fast. This does also have rev match. I do like to keep it off though. If we do turn it on, you'll see the gear turns yellow, indicates you have rev match on. I just like to, you know, keep myself fresh on shifting regularly. Also, immediately in V mode, the suspension is firm in a very, very good way. You feel every bump, and that makes you feel very connected to the road. I'm starting to notice Cadillacs now that I'm driving this thing. But yeah, guys, it is, yeah, the difference between just Tour mode and V mode with the suspension, this might actually have one of the most, make the biggest difference in how the suspension feels out of any other car that I've driven before. If we get to a bumpy section, I'll try to really show you what I mean. But switching between the two, it is substantially different in how the suspension feels. Which a lot of cars, you put it in normal versus sport or track mode, and it's like, I think I feel a difference with the suspension. This, unmistakable, unmistakable. It goes from ultra comfort to very, very connected with the road. Jump back over to V mode. This thing feels nice. And now that we've done a couple of accelerations, to touch on the sound for a second, it's not that great. This thing absolutely does need an aftermarket exhaust, in my opinion. You know, when you floor it and then you let off the throttle at high RPMs, you can hear it like trying to make a bunch of loud gurgles and pops, but you can hear that it's muffled. And let's pop it back over into normal mode for a second, and just cruise and see how this feels. So sitting in this seat, you're never gonna forget that the bolsters for your thighs are right there. The bolsters for your like rib cage, stomach area, whatever, they're there. And also, if you put your hand down below here, there's a little knob which actually lets you adjust the bolsters of your seats, which is so cool. These bolsters on the thighs and your sides are very, very tight if you want it to be. So being able to loosen that up a little bit is well, absolutely needed, because I'm not even that big of a person, but these side bolsters are really tight on me. All right, off we go. Also, by the way, to speak on the clutch for a second, it feels nice and firm. It's how a new manual car should feel. Very easy to use. I mean, again, like I said, I haven't driven a manual in a while, but I have installed this thing. It's very, very beginner friendly. And yeah, on the topic of driving this thing more casually, with everything in tour mode in its softest setting, the steering is very, very easy to, like, very little weight to it, but still it remains so sharp. The suspension is so much softer in its comfort setting. Again, very noticeably so. It's not one of those cars where you're like, maybe I feel it. No, you know which setting you're in. This does have magnetic ride control, which is part of the reason why the suspension does feel so good. Yeah, other than these seats being like tight and sporty, this could easily be a car that you commute for long distances in, and you will not get a headache. You won't. There's no drone. The exhaust, again, given it's the V6 and it's not, we're working with the stock exhaust. It's not loud in any capacity. So this would be a very friendly daily driver. Listen to that! Oh my gosh! Wow, wow, wow. That is where the sound on this thing shines. Wow. Get it close to about 6,000 RPM and then let off, and then finally the gurgles come alive. But yeah, I guess other than that, with a stock exhaust, that's really the only part that will shock you. But man, that sounded good. Yeah, you don't really get those unless you're at 6,000 RPM. Or maybe not at all in first gear. It's muffled thunder below 6,000 RPM. All right, it is drizzling a little bit, but let's corner it a little bit here. And that feels phenomenal. Yeah, this car definitely gives you confidence in the corners. That is how this car is meant to be driven. Thrash it around in some corners, let this thing ring out, shift fast, and the little like race flag type things next to the V badge, it starts to make sense. Oh, okay, got a little sideways there. Traction control system definitely kicked in. We got a Lexus SUV trying to race. Interesting. Oh! And, okay, so we do have Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, 275s in the rear, but with it drizzling, that's where you can really tell this car has a lot of power. Yeah, it will get squirmy in these conditions pretty easily. In second gear at like 45, 50 miles an hour too. That's no joke. All in all, guys, what a car. What a car. I love how dual personality this thing is, how much of a difference tour mode versus V mode makes with the steering, with the sound, with the suspension. Suspension, I'd put at #1. I've never seen a car make this much of a difference with the feel of the suspension. I don't know why I've been manually doing that the whole time instead of just turning on the automatic wipers. But I love this thing. It makes sense. Everything in here just makes sense for the blend of luxury and sportiness. Man, for 45 to 50 grand, again, given how special this car is, manual transmission, 4-door sedan, that special engine under there, I'd say this thing's pretty hard to beat. Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you own one, share your ownership experience. If you own one, I do not know anyone that owns a CT4-V Blackwing. I don't even think I've ever seen these at car shows. Like, maybe I just haven't been looking that often, but clearly these are slept on cars. Appreciate you guys for watching. More videos to come on this, and I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. Peace out.